Hello and welcome back to a transfer rumours and links and all of that good stuff. There's been a lot of things going on over the last week since I last made a video, which was about Fabinho. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that we're going to cover, and I'm just going to go for it really. Just kind of go off the top of my head and see what comes first. So obviously one of the big things that has come out, and we say big things, we have seen it coming for a long time. We've maybe seen this coming all season, most likely from January, most definitely. Emre Can has been announced he has signed a 4-year or has agreed a 4-year deal with Juventus. Don't think he's necessarily signed it yet, but he has definitely agreed it anyway, because I think is he with the national team? I'm not entirely sure. But he's agreed it, and that has happened. That's exactly what it is, and that's, we knew that this was coming. There was a faint chance that he may have stayed with us in our midfield, but realistically, we're looking at the prospect of it being Emre Can out, Fabinho in, Keita in. Along with the midfielders that we already had, Emre Can was possibly going to be the least likely to feature, because you have to consider, and a lot of people aren't really considering this, I don't think, a great deal. I've tried to make this point a few times online especially, is that we see people doing like fantasy midfields and stuff like that, and you're thinking like Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita and Fabinho, and then you've got the likes of Wijnaldum and stuff like that. You have to remember always, whether we like it or not, and you know what, I've got no problem with it really, as long as he's performing. Our captain is Henderson, and while he's our captain and he's fit and he's ready to perform, and if he's not doing abysmally, which recently he hasn't been doing abysmally, he's done quite well this season to be fair, and we have missed him when he's not been playing for us. You have to say that Henderson's always going to be in that midfield unless we're doing squad rotation, which obviously when we do squad rotation, these guys are going to be key. What it looks like we have right now is 2 players to each in each position. So say you've got like Gini Wijnaldum and Ox, and then you've got Henderson and Milner, you've got Fabinho, you've got Keita, got so many other players that I'm not even talking about right now. We have a very good stacked quality midfield that we can rotate, and we should be able to maintain that quality. Someone like Emre Can has obviously taken that he's looked at the situation and thought, I can stay in this team and I can contribute, or I can go to Juventus, who look like they're allowing, I think they're going to allow Pjanic to be moved on, quite a free kick specialist. I don't know much about Pjanic, so I'm not going to speak about him. So it looks like he's going to go into that midfield. He's going to maybe look at, is he going to be looking to take basically, his pretty much his other brother in Sami Khedira? Because if you look at them, they look exactly alike. They do. They look exactly alike. It's unbelievable. So he's going to be moving over there. Is he going to be wanting to take that spot? Has he been guaranteed something that he's not been guaranteed at Liverpool? Who knows? All I know is, right now, Emre Can is definitely going to be moving on. Best of luck to you, Emre Can. You've done some great things for us. You've done some really good things, some good goals as well, and all the best. That's all I can say. All the best, and we move on. So then we're going to talk about goalkeepers. I'm going to mention a little bit about Karius, but a lot of it's been covered already. The guy doesn't know me personally. Paul Machin from the Red Men TV made a brilliant video about Karius, and I do suggest that you go and check out that video. He talks about basically the reaction to Karius at the time, and obviously of the Champions League final, and us being in desperate need of needing a goalkeeper. I think before the Champions League final, I'd done a video about Donnarumma, or him being in a video that I'd made, saying that I don't think he'd want to be coming playing second fiddle. After the final, I'll be genuinely honest, I thought maybe if we could go for Donnarumma, he could take that number 1 spot, Karius could go back into being a number 2, could destroy his confidence, but it looked like Karius has kind of destroyed himself in that final. However, with the results of him, these things that people are saying is an excuse, and you can't really excuse like a doctor's diagnosis, a doctor's report, a hospital's report, whatever it was, a specialist report on Karius being concussed by Sergio Ramos in the final. He threw out an elbow and it caught him in the face. Can't remember exactly where it caught him, whether it caught him in the jaw, if it caught him around here. As a fan of MMA and, sport fighting in general, you can get caught in these places, and if you see people, like if you've ever watched like a John Jones, and I'm certainly not saying Sergio Ramos threw an elbow like John Jones does. John Jones has some of the meanest elbows in MMA, in fighting in general. But you throw an elbow out to someone that doesn't participate in fighting like Karius, and people saying, oh my god, is Karius a glass jaw? He might be. He's not a fighter. He's a goalkeeper. You don't say things like that about a goalkeeper. You just don't. If he's got a glass jaw, he's not making his living fighting. He's making his living trying to be a goalkeeper. And up until those moments, it's one of those things. Should he have said that he was concussed or not? We don't know. Because the things with concussion, and also being a big WWE fan from a little child, even less so these days because the content is a bit meh. But anyway, my childhood hero, and also growing up into adolescence, my hero was Bret the Hitman Hart. And yes, I do realise if you go and check out Paul Machin's video, I am basically reflecting a lot of these things, but I'm genuinely honest with you, Bret the Hitman Hart was my he was my die-hard hero as a kid. Loved the guy. Absolutely loved the guy. He had concussion, right? And if you watch any of the documentaries about Bret Hart and the concussion he had by Goldberg being kicked in the head, the documentaries cover over it. The documentaries make it look like he got the concussion and he retired. That's not what happened. You read the book by Bret Hart, he had concussion and he came back and he wrestled for a further maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Okay? He came back and he tried to wrestle. And then things went wrong in his body. He went for a bike ride. I'm literally remembering this as I speak. He went for a bike ride and he fell off his bike and he couldn't get up. And that was because he then had a stroke. And that was literally, he fought to rebuild himself and get his life back to some sort of track. And to get him basically even able to walk. Talking was a struggle. These things can happen. Concussions do not necessarily present straight away. So people saying that Karius should have took himself off, I'm not an expert, but these people also don't know what they're talking about when they're talking about concussions and things as serious as this. As they state, it cannot, sometimes a proper concussion or even a concussion of whatever state, the symptoms don't present until maybe a day to maybe a week, a few weeks after. So him having these tests and stuff a couple of weeks after or a week after the final makes sense. And now that they've been able to do that, I know that I said in my reaction video to the Champions League final loss that maybe Karius was going to lose his place, and that would be rightfully so. I fully retract that, because now, and you're seeing Germany internationals as well, I think Kevin Trapp has been the last one, Germany goalkeeper, saying that he hopes he can bounce back. German papers, I think Bild, have retracted their rating that they gave of him because they now think it's unfair to have given him the rating they gave him, which I don't know what that was, based on the fact that this concussion news coming out. I'm not saying this would have changed the result. I'm not. Would it have given us a better chance? Who knows? That's not in our hands. We cannot look at that now. The whole thing where people are saying, oh, Liverpool fans are, calling for a rematch now. No, we're not. No, we're not. We couldn't get a rematch anyway. And will we want one? No. It's set in stone. This is it. We lost the game. That is what it is. But we need to kind of lay off Karius, in my opinion. We need to lay off Karius now. Maybe actually give him our support, because that would be what we are. It's in LA. We are loyal supporters, and that is what we should be. We should be behind our goalkeeper now more than ever. He's done well for us this season. Do not discount that. You don't finish a Champions League campaign with the most clean sheets in that season by sheer luck. He earned that. And he's done well for us in the league as well. We need to support him. Now, whether that means, would I still like us to go in for someone like Alisson? I would, because I don't see Mignolet being competition anymore. I see Mignolet being moved on, whether he's Belgium's number 2 or not. Because what other Belgian keeper is there, apart from Courtois? I don't know them by name. I don't know them. So there we go. I just don't think he's going to be good enough. I would love us to go in for someone like Alisson, because he's had a great season, aside from when they faced us in the Champions League. He did have a really good season. He was a great goalkeeper. I think he is still going to be a really good goalkeeper. He's still Brazil's number 1 over Ederson, who's Man City's goalkeeper. I would love to bring someone like that in it gives us competition between, like, good quality competition between the goalkeepers. Is Alisson statistically a better goalkeeper than Karius? Yes. But Alisson has been a number one a lot longer than Karius has for us. So I think you've got to give Karius time, but we also need to bring in someone like that. Will we? I don't know, because it looks like we're going to face competition now from Chelsea. Chelsea are apparently looking to possibly replace Courtois, with Courtois apparently overturing for a move away, but then a couple of days ago saying that, actually, I'm quite committed to this cause. So Courtois might not be on the move, who was ridiculously linked to Liverpool for some reason. Everybody gets linked to Liverpool. We were linked to Buffon, for Christ's sake. People saying that we should go out and get Buffon. No, because he probably won't come to us anyway, and we'd just look silly doing it. So let's move on from that anyway. That's been a lot of stuff that I've talked about, but I really actually wanted to nail some of that Karius stuff as well. And I hope you agree. If you don't, or if you do agree, let me know in the comments below what you think. Let's move on. We have been linked to someone called Moses, Simon Moses, a winger. If you know about him, let me know it, because I don't. I've been out all day, and I was out all day yesterday. I've been on holiday, so I've been out. Okay, so yeah, I don't know about him, but let me know what you think. I don't know who he is, where he comes from, but it'd be cool to, if you could let me know. That'd be fantastic if you could. We've also been linked to a couple of other people as well, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Apparently we've been linked to a central defender that I did not look into either. This isn't going very well, is it? But again, it's one of those things at the moment. We've been linked left, right and centre. Another person that we have been linked to is Shaqiri from Stoke for 12 million. Now, I think Shaqiri, if we were linked with him, so £12 million for Shaqiri. I'm thinking if I look at Shaqiri maybe a couple of years ago, I'd be like, that's not bad. It's not bad. Seen a lot of people comparing him to Usama Asaidi, which I was like, there's a blast from the past. Wow, that's a guy that never really got a chance. Asaidi, he had good pace and stuff like that. That's what I remember. And he had a silver card on FIFA. And I think he still has a silver card on FIFA. Other than that, never really sort of got a look in our team, to be honest. Yeah, don't know. So Shaqiri can be quality. He's sometimes got a wand of a left foot. But is he back up to our front players? Is he back up to, is he ample? If you were to take Salah out of the team and put Shaqiri there, is that ample backup? I'm not sure, because he doesn't fire enough for me. You see it time and time again. He can score 30-yard free kicks. He can run on the edge of the box and bend one in brilliantly every 5-6 games. He's not consistent. He's 26, maybe 27 next year. I think that Liverpool should be past getting signings like this. I think that we should actually be looking to the future a lot more. And whoever this Simon Moses is, I don't know who he is. But I'll be honest with you, most of my transfer videos this year, if I don't know who someone is, I have full faith that Klopp does. And I have full faith that any of Klopp's signings have been brilliant so far. And I have no reason to doubt why this one wouldn't be either. Shaqiri could be good, but it's too much of a risk, in my opinion. If you're looking for someone to be back up to the likes of, to be back up to Salah, to be maybe back up to Mane or something like that, no, not in my opinion anyway, but let me know what you think. And speaking of Mane, we're going to finish the video off with this one that I saw flash up once. Never seen it flash up anywhere else since. Flashed up on my phone. Bleacher Report. Sadio Mane has a pre-agreement with Real Madrid, 4-year deal. And I was like, really? Wow. The only other thing I saw, or other people that I saw post about this, was the Red Men TV. When you see the Mane rumours, and just, I think it was people laughing or something like that. Honestly, if they were first they were targeting Salah, now they're targeting Mane. Now there is a reason why I don't think that this would happen. I do think that Mane enjoys playing at Liverpool. I think he enjoys it a lot. I think he's enjoyed it being part of that front three, and he's had a very, very successful season this past season, whether people like it or not. He's got better stats, he's had better numbers, and he's scored in very, very important games. He's scored very important goals and some hellish goals as well. He scored some absolute crackers. He's a brilliant player, and he's lost a lot of form this season. He had that sending off against Man City early on with that high boot to Ederson, and then he got injured and he was out for 6 weeks after that. It took him a long time to come back from that injury, but near the end of the season, he scored in the Champions League final. Near the end of the season, he was starting to near his best, and he was getting back to his best. I don't think people should lose faith on that, but let's be real as well. What if Real Madrid did come in for Sadio Mane? I would actually be gutted to lose Sadio Mane. I think he'd be very difficult to replace. I really do. Just like most of our players. Like, if someone came in and he went Bobby Firmino, there's no way. I couldn't even think of someone to replace him. Same with Salah. There's no way that you'd replace someone like that. Someone who has a first season like that, unbelievable stuff. That doesn't happen ever. Barely ever happens. So I would hate to lose Sadio Mane. I really would. I think this is basically just Liverpool being used as sort of like, I don't know, sort of like banter by Real Madrid. I don't know. I really don't know. At the moment, they don't have a head coach. So Zinedine Zidane quit. So, I mean, apparently he walked away because he wasn't allowed to get the signings that he wanted. So, who knows? I would call bull on this rumour, mainly because I just don't want it to happen. I want Mane to stick around with us. I want him to stay with us. We are clearly building something good for next year. And I'm hoping that we just keep building. We keep building. What I'm wanting for us to do next, these are obviously just people that we've been linked with. What I want us to tackle next. We need another centre-back. We don't know what's going to happen with Lovren. Lovren looks like he could be facing charges from a lawsuit. I've barely read into that one, but I think Modric was involved in it as well. So there could be charges. We don't know what happens there. But regardless of any of that, regardless of Matip coming back fit, regardless of what happens to Lovren, same with Van Dijk. He's been brilliant. If he gets injured, we're knackered. We need another centre-back, in my opinion. We need another top-quality centre-back. Midfield, we look pretty damn good. Fekir, trundling along slowly. It's why I barely mentioned it. It sounds like most likely it'd be after the World Cup, not before it, because Lyon are being Lyon, and they're being difficult to deal with. And in terms of forwards, as I say, that Moses Simon, or Simon Moses, whatever his name is, whichever way around it is, I don't know anything about him. But yeah, let me know anything that you know, because I don't know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's been a while, but there hasn't really a great deal to talk about. So thanks so much for watching. There will be some more regular videos, back to normal, I'm telling you. Hopefully get some more tomorrow as well. And I'm going to be trying to make something of a podcast. If I get it up and running on the podcast app that I've got, I'll leave some links in the description below, and I'll maybe also make a video, or the introduction of a video will be talking about that. Just be me possibly rambling on a little bit more in detail about some things. Anyway, I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I will catch you later.